All right, welcome in. Happy Wednesday, boys and girls. This is the Don't
Yeah,
Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cobold, here as always with my main man, Max Faulkner. What's up, bro?
nothing much, man. Nothing much. Another great Wednesday here on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast.
Don't
Thanks
tell Mama.
everyone. Don't tell your mama. All right.
We're
But we do appreciate you guys all listening and tuning in for our week 8 discussion on a lot of different topics. Go breezy. We got a lot going on, don't we?
we got a lot going on, but if you did tell your mama where she could subscribe at, where would that be?
It will be on our webpage. Just subscribe. Just click subscribe
YouTube.
right underneath the video.
YouTube.
If you don't know where it is, then it must be your first time on YouTube.
YouTube. Yes.
There's also probably a tutorial on how to subscribe to YouTube on YouTube. So
Yeah, probably.
so if you need
You
that
can
video, by all means, go ahead and do it. But
you
yeah,
can
it's right underneath the video. Subscribe. Come on, please, please, and thank
subscribe.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Please and thank you. What we got some snow here today. We got about a half a
Oh,
foot. Yeah.
what?
How's the weather for you?
Oh, it's a little chilly out. It's probably like 54 out degrees, 54 degrees. How about you
Wow.
guys? What do you got?
Right now we got 9 degrees
Ooh.
right now. Okay, so it's a snow
Got my
day.
snow hat on. I got
It's a
my
snow
snow
day
hat on
here.
because I'm cold.
I'm short sleeves, but it's a snow day here. But we're just hanging out. We're
That's
just
nice.
taking it easy today. Kelly's off, so
Nice.
we're gonna have a good one.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Any good plans for that? You going out tonight? Oh no, I'm sorry. You're staying in. All right.
Staying in tonight.
Because you're
Staying in
snowed
tonight.
in. You're snowed in.
But we actually went out last night. Um, I'm driving home from work late. It's about 10:15 or so, and Kelly texts me that she's out with Queef Sam. And if we forgot who Queef Sam is, he's the back-to-back Queef of the year in our football league. So anytime we bring up that Queef, we got to mention that. But Kelly was out with him and his fiance. They went to a nice comedy show, and then they went to get drinks afterwards. So on my way home, they were still out, and so I met up with them downtown Denver. I believe the place was maybe called the Roosevelt. It was a nice place. Had actually the White Rascal had the White Rascal
Oh,
there. I
my
know you
favorite
like that.
beer. That is my favorite beer.
Number one for you from Avery Brewing. So
So good.
actually
So good.
actually going to Avery on Sunday. I'll tell you more about that later. But actually
Nice.
going to Avery on Sunday.
It's a great,
Any
great brewery. Beautiful.
great
Great
brewery.
beer. Oh my gosh.
Anyways, we stayed there a little bit, and roughly 1 a.m. We're getting ready to leave, and we see some people outside the place, and it looks like someone had a little bit too much. Someone had
Oh,
a little bit too many. They're getting
oh,
held up by two people. The young lady is getting held up by two people. Okay,
oh no.
she's a limp noodle. Okay,
This is not
okay.
good.
And Queef Sam actually points it out. He says, "Oh, look at that! Look at that person." We all look and we laugh. Sure, we have a good chuckle about it. And then a
Sure.
good 10 minutes go by, and we leave, and we're coming out, and I'm talking to the people. I'm talking to the people we're with Queef Sam and Kelly and Roxanne. Shout out Rox. Uh, looking over here, I'm talking, and then all I hear is a bleh from this side, fucking all over my pants, my shoes, my new Hokas, all fucked up.
Oh, not
And
on the Hokas. You know how expensive those are?
well, I actually they were given to me by a guy I met at the gym, so it was a nice gift from my guy X Xavier. But
Hey,
still,
my
I'm not
shoes.
happy about it. I'm not happy
No.
about it. Soon as I got home, I got him in the sink. I got to scrubbing. It looked like she had some chicken that evening. Yeah, it
Oh,
looked like the
describe it.
chicken looked like the chicken was the meal of the evening for her.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
and
just a whole chicken, just
no,
spitting out bones. The
like
leg comes out.
chicken, like pulled chicken, like you'd get like pulled pork, pulled chicken.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
I didn't think it was that bad because it was dark, and I didn't think it was that bad until we got to the parking garage, and you know how lit up parking garages are, and
Yeah.
Sam looks, and it's all around my right ankle somehow. It's all around my right leg and calf on the. I don't know. It must have splashed, and it was it was a lot. It was a lot to
Oh,
handle. It was a lot to handle.
I'm sure you went home and showered, I would hope.
I showered for sure. Yep. And
Couple times, couple rinses
just
through.
once, just once.
Don't want to scrub the skin off.
Yeah. Wasn't happy about it, but you know, what can you do? I didn't even say anything to the young lady. Didn't curse at anybody. Didn't get mad. What can you do? What can you do?
Nothing.
That's how she goes. That's
That's
how
how
she goes. Wrong place at the wrong time. That
that's a
now
good definition
that's a good
for that.
example for me. Now later we're going to talk about a wrong place at the wrong time, total opposite.
Oh,
But
you're right about that. That's
yeah,
a big story coming up on the
big
No
story
Time Mama
coming up on
Sports
today.
Podcast.
Yes, sir. We got a lot to talk about today. We got college basketball. We're going to have another guest, our third official guest, come in on a podcast later. We got, of course, our 4 Wooden Award players to talk about,
Mhm.
and our 5 juicy games of the week.
Don't forget it.
But we always start out with our top 10 poll for each of us. And this week was pretty tough because we had a lot of losses at the top, and I think we might even be talking about a new team or two. So, Max, how about you lead us off with your number 1 team?
You know, I'm not giving this team enough credit, but they should be the number 1 team based on record. And I mean, I think they're still in a tough division, or I'm sorry, still in a weak division. They're in a weak division. They're running away with it. It's one of those teams to me that's like a Wichita State. You know, remember when Wichita State went 33-2 or 30-2 or whatever?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I think they're a little better than Wichita State, but
I think so
I
too.
got Houston at 25-2 on the season.
Yeah.
Easy number 1.
It's not easy for me. It's not
Oh,
easy for me. I went back and forth on it, and I kept Alabama number 1. Okay,
okay.
and you know they're Houston's first in KenPom and the net. Alabama's second in KenPom and the net. But Alabama won at Houston this year. So if you're comparing 2 teams, those 2 teams played at Houston. Alabama
Beginning
beat
of the
them.
season, right?
Beginning of the season early, yeah. But I got to keep Bama up there. I do. It's. I like Houston.
Yeah.
And that could flip for me. But I got Alabama and then Houston.
Houston at number 2. Or I hear you on that. You might be a
80
little
sec.
surprised. Oh, I'm
Sorry. 82nd ranked strength of schedule for Houston. 82nd, and that comes with their conference, the American. But
Top 100. I've seen some good teams that
top
are in
100,
the.
yeah, we're happy about top 100.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Their division sucks, but
Yeah.
they are a good team. But for my number 2, you're going to jump out of your seat. I think you're going to jump out of your seat and hop right over to Will Chamberlain's jersey. I have Kansas.
Wow, you got
I
him
have
higher
Kansas
than
at
me.
23-5. Big win against K-State. Oh, I'm sorry, TCU. Big, same colors. The big win against TCU on what was it, Tuesday? That was a great win. They controlled that game, by the way. TCU made a comeback, but then I'm telling you, Kansas, they're a good team. You guys have a good team this year. Again, it's well coached. Awesome.
Kansas was the underdog Monday night at TCU, by the way, and really came together late for that one.
Yeah.
But I can't believe you got him higher than me. I got him number 3. I got Kansas
Okay.
number 3. Still first in strength of schedule. Still number 1. This is my biggest worry about going back to back here. Going into Monday night before the game against TCU, out of 363 Division I teams, Kansas was 354th in bench minutes. There's no bench. There's no
Ooh,
bench. There's no bench.
you're right.
So if there's
You're
an
right.
injury, if there's foul trouble, someone gets sick, someone slaps somebody and gets suspended. That's my biggest worry about the Jayhawks going back to back is their bench. But Bill might address Coach Self might address that down the stretch here and he has been getting Ernest Uday more minutes, the big guy. I don't know if you saw a couple of his dunks against Oklahoma State a couple weekends ago, but but he put a couple guys on a poster.
Yeah. One thing we should bring up for the dance, now that you're bringing up this bench points, but obviously having a bench is very
Bench
important.
minutes. Bench minutes.
Okay, bench minutes. Sorry. Uh, yeah, having a bench is very important because, yeah, like you said, if one of your guys gets hurt, there's you get foul trouble.
Foul trouble.
You know, like, or your guys are just gassed. You got to give them. You got to give them some rest.
Yeah.
You got to give your players some rest so then they can come back and give it all they have for the final 4 minutes, right? So, and then also, I realized that college players they get tired. Okay, because these are really intense games. So if they are on 1 day of rest, which this is March Madness, okay, they win to go to the round of 32. They get 1 day of rest, and then they play the next day. Okay, how hard they have to go in order to get to the next round, and then you take a breather, you get 1 day of rest, and then you go and play again. If you don't have a bench, these guys might be tired come the Sweet 16. They might be tired.
You're totally right. You're totally right. And that's why I got the Jayhawks number 3. Going back real quick, that Alabama win at Houston was on December 10th. Alabama won by 6. Okay. Who is your number 3 team?
Number 3, come on now. Maybe I pushed them too far.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I pushed them too far. I got my Purdue Boilermakers. Jeez. All right. I got my, okay, yeah, they lost to Northwestern. Yeah, they lost to Maryland, which are 2 not bad teams. If you're sitting here saying like, "Oh, those terrible losses," they were not. They're a good team. They're going to make the dance. They're going to be in the dance
for sure.
I will say that last game against Maryland was definitely a disappointment. Mason Gillis had this technical foul. They were up by 7, technical foul, and then that was it. Like the game completely flipped. It was like the weirdest thing I've ever seen. They were up by 7. 12 minutes later, they were down by like 10. I was like, whoa, what the? All from the technical foul. I was like, wow. But then, hey, Purdue turned it around. All right, because on Sunday, yeah, Ohio State sucks, but that's still a big school, and they beat them by like 27. All right, it's not like it was a close game against a crap team. They just blew them out. All right, so they're back. They're back. Come on, go Boilers. Zach Edey is Player of the Year. How can you go against the guy that's Player of the Year?
Player of the Year, I got him number 4, the Boilers.
Yeah.
Number 4, KenPom, 5th in the net. Couple court stormings here. We're going to talk about that Maryland win later tonight, but number 4 for me for the Boilers. What have they lost? 3 of the last 5? What is it?
Yeah, might
3
be
of the last 5.
It might be 3 of the last 6. I'm gonna have to look into that again. Might be 3 of the last 6. But yep. But so, I think that Ohio State win's gonna turn everything around.
Maybe. Who is your number 4 team?
Number 4, we already brought up Alabama, so I got number 4
1 for
Alabama.
me. I kept them number 1.
For you, I got 4.
That's the biggest difference we've had.
There's a couple of reasons. One, they lost to Kentucky this weekend, which I actually picked Kentucky to beat them. I had a feeling they were going to.
Hold on. Tennessee lost to Kentucky this weekend.
Oh, sorry. I'm
Alabama lost to Tennessee last Wednesday.
Got it.
When we recorded last Wednesday, they had the big game at Tennessee.
Yep.
And they lost that game. Speaking of that Alabama Tennessee game last week, we were hyping that up for a couple of weeks, if you remember.
Yeah.
That was actually the 8th loss by an AP number 1 team this season, which is tied for most in a season.
A lot of upsets.
And we got a couple weeks left here.
Yeah.
Alabama only made 8 2-point field goals in that game. Nice. Only 8 2-point field goals in that game. So that was Alabama coming off the loss to Tennessee, and then they whipped Georgia on the weekend. Did you see that? Georgia's largest loss since 1959. Okay. I gotta pull up the score for us because it was a smacking. The Alabama Georgia this past weekend was 108-59. 108-59.
Oh my.
Georgia's largest loss since 1959. Fuck the dogs. You're getting it done on the gridiron, but not the hardwood.
Wow. That is quite a beating. So I understand why Bama would be your number 1, but we're going to talk about a story coming up that has involved Alabama. And this is part of the reason why I have them a little bit lower in the rankings.
We got a sticky situation coming up. I got Bama number 1. You got a number 4. Who is your number 5 team in the nation as of February 22nd?
Number 5, we are going to the Pac-12 with UCLA. UCLA 23-4. They got a guy on the team that could be the MVP, or that's up for the Wooden Watch that we'll be talking about later. And they do have some senior leadership, and we always bring up Mick Cronin. We brought him up a few times now these past few weeks, and
always bring him up.
He's a great coach. He's perfect for UCLA.
I got him number 5 also, 14-2 in the Pac-12. Second defensive team in the nation, 4th in the net. UCLA number 5. Big game in Boulder this weekend with the Buffaloes.
You going to that game?
Actually am. Nice. UCLA, Colorado this Sunday. Queef, Sam, and I will be in attendance. Row 32. I'll get you the section if anybody wants to come slap hands. Who's your number 6?
Number 6, we're staying in the Pac-12. Okay, Jeez. I'm going Arizona, 24-4, 24-4 record. They're a close number 2, right behind UCLA. I mean, they're a good team. They're not a bad team. They had a couple bad losses here and there, but they have a big dog in Tabellus. So I mean, that's not much else I really want to talk about when it comes to Arizona.
A couple of those bad losses has me a little lower on them. I got a number 8. Number 8. They're that 59th ranked. That 59th ranked strength of schedule is pretty low for me, but that comes with playing in the Pac-12. It's a 2-team league. Big game against rival Arizona State this weekend, but I got Arizona number 8. I still like them. Solid 2 seed. Solid 2 seed right now.
Sure.
Who is your number 7? Well, let's go back to my number 6. My number 6 is going to be the Texas Longhorns. Got a big win last night against Iowa State.
Yep.
They're looking good. 9th in KenPom, 8th in the net. Right there tied with Kansas for the Big 12 at 11-4 apiece. Yep. So it's between Kansas and Texas. They're meeting Saturday, March 4th, last game of the season. They're meeting. Big 12's going to be on the line. Oh, baby. I got Texas number 6.
That's going to be a fun game. They're my number 7, so we can just skip right to that. Yeah, dude, Texas is a fun team to watch. I really like Texas this year, and I really like how they. What was that?
They got a lot of seniors.
Yes, yeah, they have a lot of senior leadership, and they definitely play together. They're they do have 6 losses though. So it is one of those.
Sure. 12th ranked strength of schedule.
Team, but the Big 12, that's what you guys have been doing all year. Same thing with the Big 10. Like everyone is just pounding into each other. Each teams are just taking wins back. They're exchanging wins. That's how good of teams that we have here. Texas is really good. I love that they fought through adversity when their coach got fired, and then now their assistant comes in and they're still rolling. I thought that their season was going to go way downhill. No, they're still rolling.
Good coach. Number 7 for me. We're not going to get out of the Big 12. I'm staying with the Baylor Bears. They had a big loss Saturday to my Kansas Jayhawks. It was the juiciest game of the week, maybe the month. Baylor Bears went into Fog Allen, and they were up 17 in the first half, 13 at halftime. Their 3 guards, Flagler, Cryer, and George. They had 42 of their 45 points at halftime. Okay. Whoa. So I think they just ran out of gas. Kansas comes back, wins by 16. Oh, wow. A 33-point turnaround. You can't count the Jayhawks out. You can't count them out.
No way.
But I still think Baylor's good. They got great guard play, great coach. Championship pedigree from 2 years ago. Still, there's guys on that team with rings. Okay. I got Baylor number 7.
You're gonna hate me because I don't even have Baylor ranked. I don't even have Baylor ranked right now. They just lost last night to Kansas State. They're on the 2-game losing streak. I'm not putting them in my top 10 with 10 losses. They got 10 losses.
I had to walk away. Getting me worked up. Baylor Bears, number
You just told
3.
me they blew a 17-point lead, and then they go to
Yeah,
Kansas State and they lose to Kansas State.
they lost to
Okay, that's
Kansas
why they're
State.
not in my top 10, Queef.
Okay. Third ranked strength of schedule. They're the number 2 offense. Okay, 12th in the net. Baylor Bears. We're different here, but gotta have the Baylor Bears in your top 10.
They're maybe a top 12 for me, maybe a top 12. All right,
Okay.
couple
Okay.
bad. I wouldn't say bad losses, but
First time I had to
losses.
get up. First time I had to get up on a podcast. Okay, I almost had to go get some fresh air.
Yeah,
Okay.
I heard the creaks coming from the knees. Put a little oil.
No,
put a little oil
no,
underneath.
no creaks for me. My number 8, like we said, is Arizona, the Wildcats. Yeah. Who's your number 8?
We're going to go to the ACC, University of Virginia. We keep saying how boring they are, but they're still winning. So they're ruling the ACC. I got them at number 8.
I kept them at number 10. I just can't move them up. I just can't do it. They're really boring, but still only 4 losses, 21-4. So
yeah,
I got number 10. You said you're number 7, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Who is your number 9 team in the nation?
Number 9, moving up 1 spot from what I had last week. The Marquette Golden Eagles. Are we sleeping on Shaka Smart?
I'm not.
No,
I'm not
Shaka Smart's a good coach. He's been good since well, damn it, what was his team that he was on?
It was VCU, wasn't it?
VCU, Virginia Commonwealth. That's right. Yeah. He made that show that school known. I mean, I didn't know VCU before. No. VCU made a run with Shaka Smart.
And now he's looking like he's doing it again at Marquette. I agree with you. I'm right there at number 9 with Marquette. Got the big win at Creighton last night. Yeah,
that was a big win.
I was saying whoever wins that game is going to be my number 9 team today. And Marquette came through. They're the 3rd offense in the nation according to KenPom, and they're 14-3 in the Big East. Possible champs.
Big East is fun, actually. I'm looking at these teams. Don't sleep on them in the dance. They're having some fun there.
5 good teams.
Yeah.
I already said my number 10 was Virginia. Who was your number 10?
Ooh, we got a new one. I'm telling you right now, you got to look at the way they've been playing. You have to look at the way they've been playing, and you're going to be like, no. I got Miami. Okay.
Yeah.
23-5.
I looked at
it. They just had a big win against Virginia Tech. They beat UNC the other night. I believe they beat Duke not too long ago.
Smacked them.
Yeah, they're a really good team. I think we're sleeping on a couple teams in the ACC, in Virginia and Miami.
2 teams from the ACC in your top 10. I'm not there.
No.
Nope.
Hey,
nope.
Fair enough.
I looked at Miami. They're pretty low at KenPom and the net. They don't match up with some of these other teams. But for a review, my top 10, starting at the top, is Alabama, Houston, Kansas, Purdue, UCLA, Texas, Baylor, Arizona, Marquette, and Virginia.
My top 10 would be Houston, Kansas, Purdue, Alabama, UCLA, Arizona, Texas, Virginia, Marquette, and Miami.
Definitely the most difference that we've had so far.
Yeah. It's been a fun season. A lot of different teams that going up and down here. That's like Tennessee, we had as high as number 2, and they just went on a couple game losing streak. So
see ya. Even after that big win. Yeah. Moving on to our Wooden Award watch. We're highlighting all 20 candidates for a week. We got 8 left, Max. Who do you want to start with?
Let's start with Jaime Jaquez Jr. Did I say that right? Or was it Jamie? I think it's Jaime.
Jaime Jaquez.
Jaime Jaquez Jr. from UCLA. It's about time we talk about UCLA a little bit.
Triple J.
Triple J, nice. This guy's averaging 16.8 points, 8.1 rebounds, 2.5 assists. He's shooting 48.1% from the field, 33.8 from three-pointer, and 75.3% from the free throw line. Let's talk a little stats real quick from his past 5 games to understand why this guy is a stud and why UCLA is on a run right now. He had 20 points, 8 rebounds, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 25 and 12. He had 7 and 12, and that was in a blowout, so he didn't even need to score. And then 24 and 15.
Jeez, that I want to say
Jaime, Triple J, Jaime
Jaime
Jr.
he's only about 6'7", if I'm not mistaken. Getting
He's
those
getting
boards,
boards, man.
he's a glass cleaner. He's a
Yeah.
glass cleaner. I didn't realize.
I didn't either. He's a guard or a forward. I'm sorry, small forward.
He plays the 4 for him. He plays power
He
forward
does
for
play
him.
the 4. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, no, he's
Over under 9 rebounds this Sunday at the Buffs.
I think he's getting 10, so over 9. He's
Double
getting
double,
10 at least.
double double.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited to see Jaime. Next guy we want to highlight here, sophomore from NC State. I don't know if a lot of people are keeping up with the Wolfpack from NC State, but we got a sophomore guard named Terquavion Smith, one of the better
Oh,
names in the sport. Terquavion. Okay, one of the
definitely
better
have never heard of
names.
that one. That's you look that up in the phone book. There's going to be one Turquavion.
That's a good name. That's one of the
Yeah.
better names in the sport this season. But he can score the ball. He's averaging just over 18 points, 3.5 boards, 4.5 assists, and 1.3 steals a game. That's pretty good.
Nice. Oh yeah, plays the D.
Yeah, he's the 3rd leading scorer in the ACC right now.
Hmm.
He's been in double figures in 27 of their 28 games this season. So he's only not been in double figures once. That's consistent.
Wow.
Okay. And he is actually the fastest player to reach 1,000 career points in the ACC over the last 15 seasons.
Wow.
Okay.
I have not been paying attention to the Wolfpack. I know they're winning. I know that. They just beat Duke.
I saw Terquavion last year at Notre Dame. He had a bad game. I want to say he shot something like 1 for 9, 2 points. So he wasn't on my radar. He wasn't on my radar. Now he's averaging just over 18. He's a top 20 player in the nation, and I think people are sleeping on him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, moving on to our next Wooden Watch award nomination. Hey, we're going back to who won it last year. Okay, he's up for it again. Oscar Tshiebwe of the University of Kentucky. This guy's doing it again, doing his numbers. He's awesome. He's averaging 15.8 points, 13 rebounds, 1 block a game, 1.6 steals a game. This guy plays defense as a big.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He shoots 54.5% field goal percentage. And at the free throw line, shooting 72%. That's not bad from a big guy. That's
Solid.
not bad from a big guy.
Solid.
So
I like Oscar Tshiebwe. Big win over Tennessee this weekend. He won it last year. I don't see him winning it this year. Kentucky's having a quiet season. If we remember, they were a 2 seed last year. Trivia time for you, Max. Who upset them in the tourney?
Yeah. St. Peter's, the Peacocks. Fucking Peacocks.
We'll be talking about the Peacocks a little bit later, but Kentucky's in the tournament, but they're not a 2 seed like they were last year. So Oscar Tshiebwe is kind of forgotten about.
Yeah, no doubt. He's still having a great year. I'm glad he came back. Way to stick with it.
All right, the last player that we want to highlight today for the Wooden Award watch list is Alabama forward Brandon Miller. This guy's the SEC leading scorer at 18.7 points a game, averaging 8 rebounds. He's shooting 46% from the floor, 43% from 3, and 83% from the free throw line.
Damn.
He can shoot it. He's 6'9", 200 pounds. Okay, he's got a high release. Now, if 6'9", 200, he's real slender. How I like my comparisons. He kind of reminds me of Kevin Durant. Now, Kevin Durant is a multi-time MVP champion in the NBA. Okay, we can't just be comparing people to Kevin Durant, but when Kevin Durant's freshman year, the only year at Texas, he was 6'9", 215. So pretty comparable body weight. But boy, Durant was crazy at Texas. Almost 26 a game, over 11 boards, shot 47% from the field, 40% from three, and 82% from the line. So those
Yikes.
percentages are very close. Those
Yeah,
percentages are very close. I think Brandon Miller is the closest thing we've seen to Kevin Durant since Kevin Durant. He
that's exciting. That's really
he uh,
exciting.
he was the number 9 high school recruit according to ESPN, and right now he's projected by ESPN to go number 5 in the NBA draft
Wow.
to be
Well,
the first college player taken.
oof. Yeah, man. Yeah, Alabama has a good team this year, and this is a huge reason why. It's because you have and you said he's a freshman,
He's a
right?
freshman. Yep.
Freshman doing
Yep.
these numbers.
Yep.
This guy is a rare talent that when it comes to college basketball, there's always some players that are better than others, but then you see the rare talent ones that just have this
One
athleticism
and
that
done.
was,
One and
yeah,
done.
one and doneers. Not all of them, not all the one and dones, but sometimes you just
This
know
guy
that like,
is.
oh, this
This
guy's
guy
a,
is.
yeah.
6'9", 200, 6'9", 200 pounds, shooting 43% from three. He
Wow.
he's very athletic. He's very good. ESPN has him number 5 in the draft. So, but Brandon Miller actually made headlines yesterday. We got a sticky situation here in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
Now
Breaking news, everybody.
breaking
Breaking
news.
news.
Breaking news. Mid-January, January 15th, there was a fatality, a shooting. The And Alabama was involved in this. A 23-year-old young lady lost her life. Prayers and thoughts go out to her family and her friends. Jamia Harris, her 5-year-old son now has to grow up without a mother for senseless violence. So that being said, we wanna get into a little bit of the details here. Uh, Alabama junior forward Darius Miles, he played 30 games off the bench last season for the Crimson Tide. He was out with a buddy, Michael Davis. They were out downtown Tuscaloosa. Altercation happens. Who knows? Who knows what happened? Darius Miles texts Brandon Miller. Okay, he shoots him a text, says, "Hey, bring me my gun." For some reason, the gun allegedly is in Brandon Miller's car. Okay,
Mm.
so Brandon Miller brings the gun to the scene, and also allegedly, freshman shooting guard Jaden Bradley also meets them at the scene with his vehicle. So this allegedly was at 1:45 a.m.
Yeah.
downtown Tuscaloosa. Brandon Miller brings the gun to the scene. Allegedly, Jaden Bradley parks his vehicle. Brandon Miller parks his vehicle to block in the victim. Okay, so they cannot reverse their
Uh-huh.
vehicle. Okay, Jamia Harris is reportedly with her boyfriend. They're just two people. Brandon Miller brings the gun. Darius Miles takes the gun, loads the weapon, gives it to Michael Davis. Michael Davis approaches the car, reportedly shoots off 11 shots,
Oh my gosh.
striking both victims. Gunshots are fired back, striking Michael Davis and striking Brandon Miller's vehicle. Okay, this ends up with Jamia Harris sadly killed in this senseless violence. And right now, Nate Oates, coach for Alabama, comes out yesterday
Mhm.
and says Brandon Miller was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, if you listen to this intro, me last night getting thrown up on downtown Denver, I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. I
Yeah.
was. Brandon Miller, he's not
No.
innocent, man. He's not innocent. He
No.
brought the gun, he brought the weapon, he brought the fatal weapon
And
to
then
the scene.
backed his car up to pin the guy
And
so he
then
couldn't get
and
out.
then allegedly blocked the victim in. Yes. It
Dude, he was a
it's
part of it.
it's just
From just that story, he is a part of it.
along with
He is a
Jaden
part of
Bradley
it.
now. Along with Jaden Bradley now.
Oh my goodness.
Nate Oates got criticized for his comments. People thought he was downplaying the seriousness of the events. Miller and
Yeah.
Bradley have still not been charged with anything. Police actually said they were just bystanders. Now I don't know how they were bystanders by blocking people in.
Mhm.
But Police right now said they're just bystanders. Sticky situation here. If Alabama loses these guys, they're done.
They're
They're done.
done.
They're
They're
done.
done. They are not a top 5 team. They're not a top 10 team. I don't think
No,
without
no, no,
these
no, no.
players.
Nothing.
So
They're nothing.
that's a crazy story. What are you doing? We literally just hyped this guy up, talking about how he's going to be a top 5 pick in the NBA draft, when you're going to make the most money that you can ever make in a lifetime. And then
it's a very unfortunate situation.
Obviously, I hate to say this, but this guy obviously is not very smart. He was not thinking about
his future.
What you were not thinking about the future. You were not thinking about, why does he want his
teenager?
gun?
He's a teenager, 18, 19 years old. What are you doing?
What are you doing with a gun? What are you doing with a gun in your car? That's not yours. It wasn't his gun. So obviously he knows nothing about the gun law. He doesn't know anything about that. Young kid, this is why you got to teach this shit in school. This is important. You need to learn. Everyone needs to learn about this shit so they're prepared for it. Okay, this sucks. This is a bad story, because I like Alabama this year. And
I like Alabama too.
And I liked Brandon Miller before I heard this story, but damn it, man. It's frustrating to hear this shit.
And it's frustrating to hear Nate Oates somewhat downplay the event. He just signed that 6-year, $30 million extension. So he's one of the highest paid people in the state of Alabama. Do you think he could lose his job over this?
I don't think he can lose his job over it. I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt, is that he didn't know the whole story yet. He didn't know the whole story yet. He heard that they were bystanders, so they were just watching, right?
Good.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, because because the best thing that he should have said was, hey, I cannot comment on it at this time, because I haven't heard anything about it yet. Something like that. And then buy some time to hear what this came out today, did it not?
Well, the news of all this happening came out when it happened in mid-January, but the fact that Brandon Miller was involved came out yesterday.
Yeah.
And then I just heard about Jaden Bradley this morning.
Yeah.
But like we said, prayers and thoughts go out to Jamia Harris's family and friends. Definitely. Senseless act of violence. All right. Well, that concludes our first episode for today. Like we said, we got another bonus episode coming tonight or tomorrow. So be looking for that. Yeah. It'll be
over the weekend. Be ready for that.
We got a guest coming in to do a Big Ten breakdown and do some game picks with us. So that's a juicy one. But appreciate the time you guys spent on this one. Give us some comments. Give us some likes. Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. Max, what you got for him?
Hey, thanks for coming out again, listening to some college basketball talk and a lot of drama going throughout the NCAA now. It's amazing how
Alabama's in trouble.
Get themselves into these instances. It's like athletes, they're humans. I get it. We're all human here, but some of these
Alabama's in trouble.
are like, whoa.
Yeah.
Feel free to comment and let us know how you feel about it. If you hear any breaking news, if you could let us know a little bit more about it. Because we're going to dip our nose deep into that to try to figure out what's going on, because it's going to hurt Alabama.
Yeah. It's definitely going to hurt Alabama. They're in trouble. Still my number one team, but they're in trouble.
We'll see.
Well, thanks for tuning in, and Don't tell Mama. Don't tell her.
Don't tell Mama, baby. We will see you next week. Thank y'all.